Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to part two of Revisiting Classic with your boy Ink. Today again revisiting classic. We're looking at classic and we're telling you what I think about it. What is the lesson that we learned? My perception of the movie. It's not a recap. It's different. I just had an idea. The Shining is a good one. Shining is a good one. The one we're gonna be checking today is the classic story of Dracula, right? And arguably not my favorite book, not arguably not my favorite story, but I think it is a story that is kind of telling. So Dracula, I think it's important to understand. Okay, so what is Dracula? Dracula was the first recorded instance or the father of vampire. If you look at Greg Nicotero, he's the father of the zombies, right? He's the first one that implied there were zombies. I don't know what is the first werewolf who did the werewolf, the creator of the vampire ideology, or not ideology, but the concept of vampire is Dracula was the first one. So Dracula is supposed to be this weird lord, right? Where it's in. This is gonna be a cool video, so I'm telling you right now, it's not well done, but it's gonna be a cool video because I got a bunch of little hints for you guys. So it is this rich guy, right, who's the lord of the manor, and something is fishy about him. He doesn't go out at night. He doesn't go out in the day. He doesn't come out at night, right? And it's kind of cool because you got this guy who got everything, and he's weird. Dracula and such a horrible intro. I haven't read the book in years, but you can find it on YouTube for free. So basically, why is Dracula such a classic? Why is Dracula so important? Well, Dracula is, at the core value, a rich man that has everything he wants in the world. And when you have everything you want in the world, as humans, we're extremely greedy. The concept explored in Dracula or greed. So Dracula being one of the richest person, he has his castle, right? He has everything he'll ever want, ladies aplenty, and he still wants more. But even if you look at the core of Dracula, there's something that they did. So, for example, Batman. He isn't Dracula, but if you look at it, Batman is also a really rich guy, huh? Who fights the night, huh? Who's afraid of bats, huh? You can look at the Great Gatsby, which is played by Leonardo DiCaprio. It's a rich guy who hides a dark secret. A rich guy that wants to be something. A rich guy that isn't happy. Dracula is. I know I said the concept is greed, but there's so many concepts more than just greed. It is about a guy who is supposed to have everything, is supposed to be happy, yet still wants more. And it's not necessarily he wants more as a sense of greed. It's he wants more as a system of, well, I have everything, what's next? Dracula is a vampire who is immortal because I believe the dream is immortality. And it's nuts because they could have went with a dream like flying, right? Which would have been a more common dream. It would have been a more relatable dream. They went with immortality, right? And immortality to me is a bigger dream than fucking flying. And it would go as how far would you go? Would you be willing to sacrifice your humanity? There's multiple concepts explored. So Dracula gave up on his humanity for immortality. But what is great about that, what is really great about that movie is, or that show, or that novel, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? Is that you kind of expect him to do so because he already got all the money in the world. It's kind of like a villainization or demonization of the elite. Yeah, the elites are willing to do anything. We don't have a choice, right? If you look at even, I'm gonna do one from Frankenstein, which is really cool. I'm gonna do one. Frankenstein is gonna be also really cool. But if you look at Dracula, it is simply Frankenstein. It is very simple. Again, what is next when you have everything? There's nothing that you want. Immortality is one, but it's also the greed. It's also, and I know I'm repeating myself, but imagine, right? Imagine if you think about the rich taxing people. Imagine it's a monetary value, right? But imagine the rich, they don't need money, so they'll tax you something else. In this one, it's life. It's your lifeblood. Dracula also is this character that is very mysterious. There's this part of him that refuses to be with people. He doesn't kidnap people. If you go into his castle, if you look for something, I'll take care of you. But more so, it is a simple person. There's not the thing with Dracula is, and again, it could be perceived as greed. When you think about Dracula, you don't think about his wife, you don't think about his kids, you don't think about any other person than just Dracula. And it's weird because In most cases, you would think that, hey, this guy is immortal, he must feel lonely. But this will also imply that he's greedy. He doesn't want to share his fortune. He'd rather be lonely than share. And I think this is pretty cool. I think this is a phenomenal thing to see. Dracula is also it's kind of cool because he's a Count Dracula, and you don't really know about the person he was before. You don't really care about the person he was before. We all heard of Dracula. We don't know where he's from. If you really want to know, it's from Transylvania or Pennsylvania. No, Transylvania, right? And it is such a classic, and it was in a time where imagination was something else. And you see, Dracula, the greatest thing about Dracula is building a villain. So if you look at Frankenstein, Frankenstein didn't choose to be the way he is. If you look at a werewolf, most of them are cursed. Most of them are going to be normal people, and then at the full moon, they're going to become something else, right? And it's kind of cool because Dracula, it does seem like even if he was cursed, if even if he was cursed, he does seem to be making the most out of it. And it's also the fact that this classic created a vampire. Now, I know I'm repeating myself, but created the rules. Okay, so they are allergic to garlic. They're afraid of crosses. They can only come out at night. They can only come out at night is very cool because as a kid we have a fear of the unknown. The kid had a fear of the dark because they cannot see through the dark. So they cannot explore. Because they cannot explore, it's unexplorable. Because it's unexplorable, it's scary. And that's pretty much it. That's my view of Dracula. Not my best video, but hey, we're gonna go to a lot of them. So most of them are gonna be gem, most of them are gonna be cool. I don't know. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.